What's up, guys? This is your boy Mikeyyywill here. Make sure if you guys have not already, go ahead and please hit that subscribe button. Right here, we are making a tow winch for snowboarding. I don't wakeboard, but you can use it for wakeboarding. Out of a little mini bike. But there's a twist. We're actually gonna take this old engine up. This engine's pretty beat down. Got this thing off Marketplace. The kid I got it from, awesome kid. Hope you're doing good if you're watching this, man. I also took your bike apart. but now it's going to be electric. It's actually going to be 72 volt. It's actually going to be raised up off the ground. The wheels aren't even going to be there. But so we had to strip this thing down, take the throttle off, take the ignition wires out and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. It's just a couple nuts and bolts. Rip it down, and boom, Obviously, the longest part was probably just stripping everything, Everything took forever to just be able to do anything. And there it is. The motor is finally out, free and clear, and here I go, waddling away with it. It's not that heavy. I just didn't want to trip over any of the tools and stuff like that. Taking the valve stem out, because I didn't want to take the wheel off and have to break the bead, so I just cut that joint off with the angle grinder. Just made some cuts in there and cut it with a knife. And it took way longer than this video made it seem. Thank goodness for editing, because it was a long, frustrating process. But I finally got it, and that's actually going to be the spool holder. Guys, this is part 1. Make sure you stay tuned for parts. It might just be part 1 and 2, because I just gotta wait for the rest of the parts to come in. I actually welded in that little steel bar just to make the motor mount more secure. And before we even make the motor mount, we have to measure it with the motor. It's a Kunray motor, aka the I think it's the plus sign MY1020 motor. I'm pretty familiar with these. Had these a while ago. If you guys are new to the channel, you might not see me. But I also picked up a little bit of welding just so I could make some cool mounts and stuff like that out of steel, and didn't want to have to always go through somebody to do it. So put in that time, guys. Go ahead and pick up yourself a little Harbor Freight welder. Clean up them welds. Clean up everything, you know what I'm saying? Make sure everything is clean, because that's what makes the weld clean. And to be honest, it's been a couple of days just going back and forth, trying to just figure out what I want to do. Some things work, some things didn't work. I learned a lot, not just from welding, but just from the engineering point of view. It took a lot. And just to say this is only part 1, it took, I can probably say 6-7 hours. And as you guys can say, it's just me going out throughout the days trying to figure out what would work and what wouldn't work. And I wanted to make it simple as possible, so if I did ever sell this thing or someone else had to use it, they would know it's just a couple bolts to move up and down the motor, and the motor just bolts out with some M6 bolts. Very common stuff. Everything is all metric bolts. Makes it easy. But definitely welding in a different position is very difficult, and it's a mini bike. Oh, I'm down. But now it's time to finally drill some holes out. I was struggling. At this point, it's probably 6 hours in, 7 hours in, And obviously, this is maybe my second big project. Well, welding and fabricating and stuff like that. But as you guys can see, it takes some time, takes a little bit of dedication, and you gotta you got that dream, you gotta fill it, man. It's just sometimes when you want something, you're not always gonna be able to get it. Sometimes you gotta build it. Sometimes you gotta be able to just think it and see it to believe it. Alright, quick little update. This is the motor mount. It slides on like this. After all the trials and tribulations of finding a way to get the motor mount to stay like somewhat steady, and I wouldn't have to put a chain tensioner on other than making the actual motor the chain tensioner. So obviously this goes up and down, and you would bolt the back here, but to keep it tight, you're obviously going to push it all the way in. Like there's like a it's kind of hard to do one hand. There we go. But yeah, there we go, and the motor on the floor. Yeah, so obviously you have to mock it up a couple times, taking the motor on and off, seeing how things would look, seeing if they would be able to slide with the chain, see if the chain is straight, because you don't want the chain pitched at a certain angle or something like that, because you want it to have as much torque as possible, because this thing is going to be pulling people in snow, and if you wakeboard in water, or honestly just anything, any type of water sport. But yeah, so it's going to take a lot of just tedious going back and forth, making sure everything's straight, making sure everything is functional, even, and hopefully like not gonna break on me first go. So obviously you're just gonna have to go back and forth, see what like works, what doesn't work. You're gonna have to realize that like maybe your welds weren't that great. You might have to go back and redo those. But this is what it looks like after all. This is probably 12 hours in at this point. After all that stuff, and I'm dropping stuff. I'm actually not gonna make a plate for the speed controller. I just want to zip tie it to it just to like get it to see what it would look like. And in reality, this thing isn't moving. The zip ties will definitely hold up quite a bit, but I'll probably relocate it to a better position, somewhere where it wouldn't get annihilated with snow or wet, or someone sat on it or something like that. Here we go with the throttle and stuff. Make sure you check out all the far driver kits and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know, that's a 80 amp far driver 72 volt controller with a voltmeter for the key switch and everything. And I think it's like a M2.5 to get that thing to stay on the handlebars, but we're not going to be using the handlebars. And there's the wiring diagram that they give you. And it looks crazy, guys, but it's not that crazy. The wires that they want you to connect, they give you connectors for. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright, yo, so you're going to need to put this orange wire, because it goes in this connector. What color is it? I'm colorblind, don't judge me, gang, it's kind of hard for me. Blue, looks like blue and yellow. And then this goes to this, is this orange? Yeah, the dual orange one, this one goes to your positively on the actual controller. Alright, yeah, so you gotta pop off the little lip for the speed controller, so you can put those phase wires to it and keep those bolts together. You don't want to lose those things. Those are precious. So those are the phase wires. So you got green, blue, and yellow. And you just line it up with the colors. Sometimes, for me, I have to like either ask somebody if I got it right or take a picture and send it to somebody, because I don't always see the right color that I thought I saw. So it's just easier to double check. If you guys don't have that problem, don't worry about that. But that's what it looks like when everything's correct. I just didn't have the battery leads on there. Now it's time to spray paint up a little bit. Make sure I don't get no rust. Spray paint, and it is time to paint it all up. I done added some finishing welds, as you can see, so a lot of things more sturdy. Here we go, spraying it up. One of the final steps on this project Took forever to get to that point, but every mounting point was solid. The motor was solid. I did not do any tests of the motor yet, but we will. And that's what it's looking like with all the bells and whistles. Motor mounted, speed controller propped up, chain good. That chain is a little too tight. I'll loosen that, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. We got more content coming soon. Peace.